Hello, friends. Today, I'm about to drop a relationship tool on you that could potentially save you years and years of misery. You're going to want to stick around for this because it's a game changer once I tell you what it is, how easy it is, and how it's improved my relationship for the better. Before we get into that, let me give you some context. Gab and I are in the process of moving. And so we're packing up stuff, we're organizing things, we're moving things around. And there is a little piece of our relationship history that I found. And when I saw it, I said, OMG, I gotta share this with my community because I find it really cute and endearing and honestly very effective. I think that if you're interested in trying something like this to help you improve communication with your partner, give it a go. I mean, it's backed by research. It's very effective with children, so I don't see how it wouldn't be with adults either. But before I get into it, I just wanted to say, hi, I'm Ali. Welcome to my channel. If you like this content, if you like this video, give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it all that stuff. And if you want to further contribute to the growth and maintenance of the channel, you can do so by clicking on the links below the video, which will bring you to my Patreon. That really helps me create great videos, pursue my education, and just keep sharing some awesome things with you guys. So thank you so much to the community that is there right now and to everyone who is watching. All right, let's get back into it. For those of you who don't know, I actually was a therapist for children with autism for 12 plus years before I met Gab. And one of the tools that I used repeatedly in therapy that was very, very, very effective was this tool called social stories. Now, what is a social story? Think of it as a really simple story that lays out a situation and talks about appropriate ways to act in that situation. So these stories can teach kids about events such as their first visit to the doctor, skills such as sharing or learning how to accept no gracefully, or topics such as, how everybody is different. And the language is super, super simple and includes lots of pictures because, who doesn't love a good picture book? I'm a visual learner, so those are always very, very helpful. And the story is always told from the child's perspective. So the goal of these stories is to help kids predict what's coming, understand what may be expected of them, what's not expected of them, how to react in certain situations, and so on. So, it really helps them plan ahead, emotionally regulate, and just learn better social skills when it comes to certain events, situations, and how to navigate through life pretty much. So these social stories were originally created for children with autism, but now they're pretty much used for any child who needs a little bit of extra help dealing with life's tricky bits. So let's fast forward now to when I met Gab. So Gab is, how do I describe Gab? I would describe him as a solutions-oriented human being. Emotions, to him, they're just a waste of valuable problem-solving time. So to him, it's more like, why sit around and feel all this stuff when you could just fix the problem, right? Gab also has a grandiosity trait, which also falls under the umbrella of narcissism, where he believes he can handle anything and everything. So that's really great when you're tackling really big problems and really big challenges, but not so great when it comes to showing empathy or compassion. Those emotions don't always come naturally to him. So early on in the relationship, whenever I'd have moments of anxiety or just not feeling great, feeling insecure, which I think that most humans are like me, instead of comforting me, he would often go into let's fix it mode. And by doing that, it actually made me feel more nervous, more stressed, more devalued, and eventually I would just shut down even more. Now, don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying Gab is this totally emotionless, unfeeling robot type of person. Gab is actually really affectionate, really kind. He has a big heart. He does have compassion. I'd say he's probably one of the most affectionate and kind men that I've ever dated. But to him, he just doesn't understand why you can't just flip a switch and let those anxieties and insecurities and all those things go away, no problem. At one point, I was like, OMG, am I dating a narcissist? Does he have NPD? Which, by the way, he doesn't. Narcissistic personality disorder or whatever. He really doesn't. But once you start Googling stuff, you start getting a little crazy because I really wanted to understand my point of view and also for me to find better words or communication style to get him to understand what I was going through, because I also had trouble communicating those things to him. Obviously, I went on Google and I actually found some pretty interesting research, which I'm going to share with you. So this was a few years ago, and I really tried to look for this article again to show you guys what it is that I found, but I couldn't find it. So I'm just gonna have to do my best to tell you about it. The article was about teaching empathy and compassion to narcissists through explicit instruction and storytelling. So in this study, they took a group of self-proclaimed narcissists. Sounds like a fun bunch. I know. Who wants to be in a room full of self-proclaimed narcissists? I don't know. And they showed them a video. I can't remember exactly what was in the video. All I do vaguely was that it was some girl in some kind of dangerous situation. The twist, before the video, one of the groups had an explicit course on feelings and empathy through stories. Think of it as a feelings 101 kind of course. Afterwards, they asked both groups about how the girl felt in the video. Now, I can't remember exactly how the control group responded, but I do remember in the treatment group that had the empathy lessons, they definitely had a lot more feels. They were able to talk more about the girl's perspective and how she must be feeling, and were generally more validating, more vocal about her and how she must be feeling in that situation. After I read that, I said, explicit instruction. This got me thinking about the social stories that I used to use working with kids. And since Gab is basically a big kid, I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe this is something that I can experiment with, especially since Gab thrives off explicit learning. If you tell him something once, if you show him something once, it is locked in forever, and he will never forget it, and he will always obey it within reason, of course. So I did it. I used the exact same principles that I used with the kids, and I made a version for Gab talking about feelings and empathy and compassion. And you guys are going to laugh when you see this. My name is Gab. I'm a great kid. I have a blonde. For those of you who don't know what blonde is, it means girlfriend in Quebecois. Her name is Alex. I like Alex. We have fun together. When Alex is happy, she is at a 1 or a 2. When Alex gets sad, Alex might cry, get quiet, say she wants to be alone, get nervous, spiral, babble, be irritable, and a million other things. When her feelings are too big, she's at a 4 or a 5. I can help make Alex feel better by giving her a hug, putting her head on my chest, dancing, tell her it's okay, I'm here for you, I love you. When Alex is happy, I am happy too. The end. So that was it. That was the story. And here's the kicker. It actually worked. Well, to some extent. Gab has had a lot of social emotional training from me over the years, and sometimes it does definitely backfire on him. There have been definitely times where I have been in a situation and he uses strategies from that social story, and I sort of shut him down by saying things like, you only said that because I told you to say it and it's not genuine. And then he gets all confused because he's following the instructions and he doesn't know what else to do, so he freezes. But in all seriousness, looking back at this tool, I wonder if we should be writing more of these social stories to communicate more in a foolproof, direct, and fun way. Because let's face it, adding some pictures and making it fun won't hurt anybody. I mean, in my years of working as a behavioral therapist, every little thing that we taught children was broken down in the most simple steps so the kiddos could understand. And often as adults, we have many communication breakdowns. I'm super guilty of it too. I think we could all take a few steps back and maybe use these tools to our advantage. That being said, I am incredibly grateful for the years I had in training and experience working with the ASD population. A lot of these tools that I have used back then have now transferred into my day-to-day life behaviors, functionalities, and so on. Honestly, something tells me I should start a side hustle writing social stories for adults that want to communicate better in their relationships. I mean, who wouldn't want a customized guide on how to not freak out when your partner doesn't text back right away, how to navigate in-law situations, how to navigate social situations when you bring your partner to a party. I don't know, it can be absolutely anything. How to approach sex in bed, how to ask your partner that you want them to stick their finger up your ass. Like, I don't know, it could really be anything, but can you just imagine a little picture book talking about what to expect when your partner asks you to stick their finger up their asshole, how it will make you feel on a scale from 1 to 5. I don't know, now I'm just being silly, but you get the gist of it. Anyways, I wanted to share that little story with you guys because it is really special to me. So yeah, like I said, I think there's some value in this that us as adults can learn from these tools that are used to teach children with learning difficulties how to navigate the world. That's it, friends. So if you have similar experiences, and if you do have similar experiences as this, I would love to hear it. I would also love to hear what you would want to communicate to your partner using a social story. So if there's something that you have communication breakdown on, you can't get your point across, they don't know how you feel, and you wish there was an easy way that you could lay it out for them to understand, I would love to hear what that would be. So if you could drop it in the comments below, I would love to hear it. I guess that's it. So anyways, friends, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Je vous aime.